Are you or someone you know struggling to heal after an infection? You're having brain fog, brain energy issues, dizziness, disorientation. I want to tell you 3 things that you can do to help yourself heal from this. This girl came to us with those exact symptoms. This is such a common mechanism after infections, and it doesn't matter whether it's COVID infection, a mold issue, a strep infection. When we have these infections, what can happen is they can dysregulate our mitochondria. We can't produce energy, and our brain develops what's called a post-infection encephalitis, meaning it gets inflamed. And when that happens, these are the most common symptoms that you'll see. And what we find from a neurological standpoint is a lot of times their primitive reflexes come back. A lot of times their balance centers get disorganized. A lot of times their eye tracking centers, especially convergence, gets dysregulated. And this girl, she had a bunch of different primitive reflexes. She had an asymmetrical tonic neck reflex, a symmetrical tonic neck reflex, a moro or a startle reflex. She had lost her ability to regulate her balance centers, and she couldn't converge her eyes. When you can't converge your eyes, you'll get double vision and you'll get disorientation. And same with when your balance centers aren't well developed. You'll get a lot of abnormal function and disorientation when that's going on. So what we first did was we got energy back to her brain. We used lasers to get the key areas of her brain that weren't functioning efficiently. So that way she could actually produce energy. Her mitochondria could function more efficiently. Her immune system could function more efficiently. And she can start regulating that inflammatory response and that inflammation. We started rehabbing her primitive reflexes and getting rid of those, rehabbing her balance centers and getting her eyes to converge. And within a few days, we were able to normalize that function because those networks are functioning well prior to the infection, but they just get so inflamed that they can't continue to function well. And that's why we start getting symptoms. They're usually pretty easy to rehab in this type of case because there's already good function that was once there. We just got to get energy back to those areas of the brain and get them reconnected again. And when we do that, what happens is, in this girl's case, she was going home. She had energy again. She didn't have to go to sleep right away. She had better mood. She was more stable in her cognitive processes. She could think clearer in a very short amount of time by doing an intensive and just rehabbing these networks. So if you're struggling after an infection, focus on these things. Number 1 is get inflammation down, whether that's laser therapy, hyperbaric oxygen chambers, nutritional, dietary stuff to get inflammation down. But then number 2, make sure you get rid of primitive reflexes if they're back. 3, retrain your balance centers and get your eyes to converge. This is what we see so often in these post-infection issues is those systems get dysregulated, and those are the most common dysfunctions we see. And when you do that, you start to feel a lot better, you start to function a lot better, and your brain can start to heal again.